See, I like to raise this question. They got an overwhelming majority, but they didn't get an overwhelming majority to abolish the democratic principles of this country. People didn't give them the mandate for an autocratic leader or a dictator to be appointed as the president of this country. So, whoever who gave the mandate to the people, when they gave the mandate to this government, they obviously expected them to safeguard the principles of constitutionalism, which is the supreme law of this country. Now, if you take the constitution, Article 3 of the constitution says the Republic of Sri Lanka, the sovereignty is in the people and it's inalienable. And also the powers of the people are given into these three organs, which is the legislature, the executive, the judiciary, and then of course the fundamental rights and the franchise. So what the main principles of constitutionality is maintaining these checks and balances, rule of law. So all those principles have to be safeguarded. So did the people give this government the mandate to abolish this whole this equilibrium, which we say the checks and balances, to kind of disturb it? Did people give them the mandate? Did the people give them the mandate for them to make the judiciary a biased institution? Did they give the mandate to this president to make the PM and the speaker a defunct person? Did they give the mandate to abolish the Audit Services Commission and the Procurement Commission and the so-called, not the so-called, the transparent and the governance principles? For example, in the 20th Amendment, the Parliamentary Council, the Constitutional Council has been abolished and the Parliamentary Council has been appointed. So the Parliamentary Council will now be responsible towards appointing the members of the judiciary, and Parliamentary Council is no longer a binding authority but only an observating authority. So they will only give their recommendations and the President is not bound to follow it, whereas in the 19th Amendment the President had to consult and had to go by the Parliamentary Constitutional Council's recommendation. But here now we see the President gets the authority to appoint the judges of the Supreme Court. Now what does it say? So what does it say? So it can lead to a situation where the sovereignty of the people, the balance of the unbiasedness can be affected. So this is one of the reasons why we as the SJB has gone to the Supreme Court, saying that the sovereignty of the people, the Article 3 of the Constitution, is directly affected by these changes. And also, if I am to talk about this whole immunity concept, now this government came saying one country, one law. But when you bring in the clause of immunity, where President, now people can't file any fundamental rights case, which was brought in by the 19th Amendment, nobody can question the President, not when he is in power, and also not when he is after power. So when you say one country, one law, do you want one person to be above the law? Is that what the people gave the power to this government?
Leni, do you think that if the government in power today communicated the contents of the 20th Amendment to the Constitution, which is right now tabled and gazetted already, and tomorrow it will be put into consideration at the Supreme Court, do you think that the verdict of the last election may have changed if the government communicated the contents of the 20th Amendment to the Constitution?
Sadly, what they said went to the people and said that they want to abolish the 19th Amendment, give them the 2/3. So obviously the people trusted and gave them the 2/3, but they never came out and said what they are planning to do by getting the 2/3. I don't think the educated or the savvy people in this country will want a dictator in this country. Development should happen in a democratic framework. Now the whole argument which they bring, saying the 19th Amendment, the President can't make decisions, we can't understand is now they have 145 seats in the Parliament. They have the 2/3 in the Parliament, and it's also the government, even the local councils, everything is with this government. What hinders them? What hinders them for them to go ahead with the development? What hinders them to fix the economy right? Do they need to bring in an autocratic leader by bringing this 20th Amendment? Do they need to question or dismantle the sovereignty of the people? Do they need to create a system where there is no checks and balances? Now these are the things that the people in this country need to question. I think it is going way beyond the mandate that the people have given to this government, and I think it's time the educated people start questioning whether their actual vote, whether did they vote for an autocratic system or a democratic system.